All right, awesome. So as we look through the monohybrid crosses last video today, or last class, today we're gonna look into the dihybrid crosses. So in my opinion, dihybrid isn't too much different. However, it's a little more complicated and it requires a little bit harder, well, complicated work. And obviously it's a little harder. So today on my big sheet of paper, I have 5 questions that I plan on doing with you. And if we don't get through all of them, I will probably do another video on them because these are kind of they were a little harder than the monohybrid, but still, if you had good understanding of what we're actually doing here, you should be pretty fine. All right, so let's start. Let me get the pencil. Okay. In a summer squash, white fruit color is dominant over yellow fruit color, and a disc-shaped fruit is dominant over spear-shaped fruit. If a squash plant true breeding, which is also called homozygous, for white disc-shaped fruit is crossed with a plant true breeding for yellow spear-shaped fruit, what will be the genotype and phenotypes? So remember, I didn't go over true breeding the name, but I think it's not that important. But however, you should still know that true breeding it's homozygous. All right, that's all you need to know. You just that's it. It makes intuitive sense. So again, let's start with the let statement. Let, now remember, let W, no, okay, you know what? Let's pick our own letters so it doesn't look confusing. Let A be yellow fruit color. And let me extend that. Let A be, no wait, that was a capital, so that's supposed to be the white, and let yellow white fruit color, yellow fruit color. That let me do this D be disc shaped, let D be sphere shaped. Okay, awesome. So we have our let statements. That was a mark earned already. And now let's identify the parents. So let's see. P1 we have here. Oh, my keyboard came up. P1 here. We have P2 here. So P1 is true breeding for yellow and sphere. Okay, so P1 is true breeding white disc and true. Okay, so that is basically capital A, capital A, capital D, capital D. And right here that is D, D. Well, I could have put the A in front, but I don't know why I did this. So again, guys, I encourage you all to go ahead and try it yourself first before you come up and, you know, take the answer and do it with me. So these are one type, remember, so it can only pass one of these genes, one of these two genes. So remember the law of independent assortment. You're only able to get one gene from dad, one gene from mom, if that is dad, but whatever. So this parent right here can only pass D for this allele. This parent can only pass smaller g. And now we look at this, she can only pass A, which I will write in front now. And he can only pass A, big A. So now that is going to be the gamete. Now when you have these crossed together, you're guaranteed to get a kit that is this, A, D, D. Because remember, this looks like a multiplication, but really it's just addition. Because all of your children is going to have two alleles. Remember, two alleles. So because you started off with one, two traits, one fruit color and one shape. So at the end, you're also gonna end with one fruit color and one shape. So now let's identify this is the heterozygote. This is a heterozygote. And then the phenotype is going to be, because white is dominant over yellow and disk shape is dominant over sphere, it's going to be white disk. Alright. So the F2 generation. Wow, I don't have enough paper. I predicted this. So remember what I said in the first class. If they don't give you whatever you need, if they don't give you who are you crossing with, we just assume it's self-crossing. So this was our plant. And if it self-crosses, it's supposed to cross with the same genotype, which we have here. So what happens now? Well, let's look at how many combinations we have. We have this combination, we have this combination, we have this combination, we have this combination. So let's see, A, D, that's one possible combination. We have A and small d, that's another combination. And small a, big D, that's another combination. And that's another combination. And because we're crossing with the same thing, so basically this, and that's 4. Sorry, this and this. So that's another 4. It's the same thing. So essentially, let's just get straight to the cross. So basically, whatever you do, it's still this. P1 is on this side. P2 is on this side. So we're gonna write out all the possibilities. A D, A small d, A big D, A small d. And that are the possibilities. And on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. Then small a, big D. Alright. Now remember, let's add them up. And let's do this. Just to make it look a little better. A, D, D. A, D, D. A, D, D. And A, D, D. So that's A, D, D. D, D. A. Okay, why am I reading it? That's literally always going to be the same thing. A. Okay. A, D, D. A. I know it's a lot of work, guys, but it's pretty easy in my opinion. It makes intuitive sense to me. I know my writing isn't so neat on a laptop, but I tried my best. So yeah, guys, please don't judge me. I know this is horrible writing. Maybe I'll teach math on one day and scare all the math kids away with all my writing. D. Alright, perfect. We just finished it. So now let's tally up the point. So this one, it's unique because there's only one like this. We're looking at genotypes right now. However, these two have the same genotype. And can you find another one that has that genotype? No, you can't. And now let's look at which one else has, let's say, this genotype. So I know these two have it. These three. Big A, small a, big D, small d. Big A, small a, big D. What did I write here? That was a big... No, this was a heterozygote. Okay, so that was that. So 2D. So this is not it. So 1. Alright. Alright. So we tally up all the points, and we're supposed to get a random number of 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, whatever. So that we don't care. But however, what we actually care is the phenotypical ratio. Because nobody's going to ask you to actually count up all of these points. We care about phenotype ratio. You know what that is? That is 9 to 3 to 1. That is the ratio for phenotype. I know it seems like a lot of work. So you gotta look at this. All of this has the same gene phenotype. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these... I was missing a 3, but whatever. So these 3, big A, small a, this have the same, and this has the same. So these have the same. And now we're only missing these. Well, missing 5 of these. So this has the same. That's another 3. So we have another 3 here. And finally we're left with a fully come 1. And that was the entire class. 9, 3, 3, 1. That's the phenotypical ratio. I know it looks kind of messy, but hey, at least we learned something. So this one was a tough question actually. About 70% of Americans perceive a bitter taste from the chemical PTC. The ability to taste this chemical actually comes from a dominant allele, and not being able to taste is a recessive allele. Albinism is also a single locus trait, with normal pigment being dominant and lack of pigment being recessive. Normal pigment in women who cannot taste PTC. Okay. A normal pigmented woman. So means... So to be honest, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna go ahead and set up all of these for you. I'm not gonna do all of these dihybrid crosses. It is very complex. So you're just gonna know the phenotype ratio is always going to be 9, 9, 9, 3, 3, 1. And if you remember, that up to 16. Right? 6, that's 9, 15, and 16. Because we have 4 times 4 by 4 square. Simple. Just gonna understand that. So I'm just gonna set up all of these questions for you because I believe in all of y'all that if you all actually takes this class outside of school, it means you're confident in biology somewhat. I mean, I'm always here for questions. If you have any, please ask. So right, so this woman who cannot taste PTC, it means she has the ability to taste. Okay, so she cannot taste it means she have 2 small teeth. But however, she is a normally pigmented woman. Yeah, alright, so she has normal. So at least she has 1 big A. And however, she has a father who is an albino taster. So her father was... This is her. So we're gonna talk about her father. Her father was albino, meaning he had AA. Oh, alright, so I guess, yeah. So if her father had a small a, meaning that he can only pass a small a on. So this has to be her genotype. Because her father was a albino taster. And that meant that albino, so he had both small a's recessive, and when he reproduced, no matter whatever he marries, he's always gonna give a small a. So the big A came from her mom, obviously. She marries a homozygous, normally pigmented man who is a taster. Okay, so he has a dominant trait. So T. However, his mother that cannot taste PTC, meaning her mother had a small trait. Her mother was recessive, fully recessive, and that's the same case we're dealing with here. This. So now, homozygous, normally Okay, so he only talked about homozygous for the normal pigment part. So I guess it's TTAA. So that is how it works. So he's gonna be like this, and remember this woman can only pass on this and that. So this combination TA. Oh yeah, I know this. I know this reminds me of your teacher says. Don't tell me. And you're failing marks too. Yeah, I know. All right, so this is the possible things that they could have. And now when you cross it, oh my god. Wait, does that get recorded? Oh, it doesn't get recorded. Okay, cool. So when you cross it, it's going to be, oh no, not whenever I switch out a tab to paste something, it's gonna go, oh yeah, and this too. So TA, and you're only doing a 2x2 cross here, so remember it's pretty easy. TA, and then whatever you do there. Yeah. So yeah, that's whatever you have done. That's pretty simple. So yeah, I set the question up, and let's do another one, because why not? So wolves are sometimes observed to have black coats and blue eyes. Assume that these traits are controlled by a single gene that are located on different chromosomes. Assume further that normal coat color is N. Dominant to black? And okay, so normal. Okay, so normal is dominant to black coat, and brown eyes is dominant to blue. Suppose alpha male and alpha female of a pack, dominant individuals who do most of the breeding, are black with blue eyes. Okay, so we wanna look for the recessive. So, all right. So hold up. So one of them has blue eyes, so that is recessive right here, small b. However, they are. Oh wait, wow, there's a black, so they're fully recessive. That's the what? These are the dominant individuals. Wait, that's crazy. They just tell me they're dominant, and now what does that? What does that even mean? They just tell me they're dominant, and now they're like, no. Okay, so wow, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. Okay, so this person, this wolf had NNBB, fully recessive, homozygous recessive, with blue eyes and normal colored. So it crosses with normal colored. So there's at least a big one. We don't know about the other one though. With brown eyes, respectively. The female is heterozygous for both trait. Oh, so they just told us. So now you're doing a 2 by assume how many of the offspring. Okay, so you're doing a. This is the only thing you could pass on, because remember these are the same thing, so you can't do it. So this here, that here, so that is 4. So NB, gonna do one here, and what did I not do? The big N and B, sure. And then you do your cross here on that. So it's supposed to be a. You know what? These are too easy, so I assume you guys already know how to do all of this. So 2, 3, 4. So let's see, fill up here and B and B and B and B. And that's it. And you just fill in this, fill in that, and then each of this is 25% chance. Remember, each of this is 25% chance, so they have 60, meaning that 4 of them will be this, 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 4 of them will be this. Alright? Dihybrid cross is also pretty easy. On the test, you're expected to finish a dihybrid cross in around 2 to 3 minutes, so you guys gotta practice first. Because these things, don't think this is where it ends. No. They're gonna get much harder. And we're gonna look at them in the next class.